Okay, let's just state the obvious. The AI revolution is here. But you know what the single biggest challenge is for businesses right now? It's not about buying the fanciest new technology. It's about preparing your entire workforce to actually use it well. So that's what we're diving into today. We are opening up the playbook on how to get that done.
So, I want you to start by asking yourself a really fundamental question. Right now, is your team just AI curious, or are they truly AI capable? Because let me tell you, closing that gap between curiosity and real capability, that is the difference between simply owning new tools and actually getting a real return on your investment. And that leads us right into this idea of the AI readiness gap. Because listen, the real risk for your company isn't being replaced by AI. It's being outmaneuvered by a competitor whose team has the skills to use it effectively. Closing this gap, it's not a nice to have anymore. It's an absolute strategic imperative.
I mean, the pace of change we're seeing it's staggering. AI tools are becoming as normal as checking your email. But here's the catch. We can't treat this like any old software rollout. This isn't about learning a few new buttons. Nope. This requires a fundamental shift in how we think and how we work.
Okay, so how do we actually close that readiness gap? Well, it all starts right here with building AI literacy. Before your team can master any tool, they have to get the core concepts behind it. This is the foundation, the bedrock for any genuine capability.
All right, let's just demystify AI for a second. A lot of us think of the sci-fi version, conscious thinking machines from the movies. The reality in business today is way more practical. It's about recognizing patterns and making predictions based on data. It's not magic, it's just math. And at the very heart of this is machine learning. Think of it like this. Instead of a programmer writing a million rigid rules, you just give the computer a ton of examples and let it figure out the patterns for itself. It learns from the data and gets better with experience, all without being explicitly reprogrammed. And that is precisely why data literacy is absolutely non-negotiable. To really understand AI, your team has to grasp that the system is only as good as the data it's fed. You put in garbage data, you're going to get garbage results. You feed it biased data, you're going to get biased and unreliable outputs. The output is always a direct reflection of the input. Okay, so we've laid the foundation. Now it's time to shift from the what to the how. We're moving from theory to application, turning that abstract knowledge into real, hands-on confidence so your team can actually master these powerful new tools. A huge piece of this is mastering what's called prompt engineering, which is really just the art and science of talking to an AI. There are 3 keys to it. 1, provide context. Don't make the AI guess. 2, be incredibly specific about what you wanted to produce. And 3, treat it like a conversation. Iterate, refine your prompts, and watch your results get better and better. But here's a point that's absolutely crucial. Generic, one-size-fits-all training is going to fail. To get real buy-in from your team, you have to make it relevant. You've got to show your marketing folks how AI can supercharge their campaign analytics. Show the HR team how it can find the perfect job candidate faster. When people see how it solves their specific problems, adoption just takes off. Now, we come to what I honestly believe is the most important part of this whole process, cultivating the critical AI mindset. It's not just about learning how to use AI, it's about learning when to trust it, and more importantly, when to seriously question it. And here's why that mindset is so vital. AI can produce information that sounds incredibly confident, but is completely and totally wrong. This phenomenon even has a name. It's called a hallucination. The AI literally just makes things up, but presents them as solid fact. Without a skeptical eye, that's a massive business risk. So every single employee needs what we'll call a skeptic's toolkit. First, if a fact is important, you always verify it with a trusted, authoritative source. Second, you have to actively question the outputs for any hidden bias or blind spots. And third, be fiercely protective of confidential company data. Know the rules before you even think about pasting anything in there. So you've run the training sessions. Everyone's got their certificate of completion. Now for the hard part. How do you make these new skills actually stick? Well, this is all about smart implementation, careful measurement, and building a culture that really embraces this new way of working. One of the biggest challenges you are going to face is resistance. Let's be honest, some of your people are worried. They see these powerful new tools and they wonder if their job is on the line. And you know what? That's a completely valid fear that we have to address head on.
And the solution is to change the narrative. The key is to focus on augmentation, not replacement. You have to frame AI as a partner that eliminates the boring, repetitive parts of a job, which then frees up your team to focus on the high-value strategic work that only humans can do best.
Of course, you can't improve what you don't measure. A successful program really tracks three things. First, tool adoption. Are people actually using it? You can see that in your usage analytics. Second, skill application. Can they use it well? You can test that with practical assessments. And finally, the big one, business impact. Is it moving the needle? That's where you connect it all back to your core productivity KPIs. And this brings us to our final, most important step, leading the AI revolution. This is where your company's mindset makes a crucial shift, from passively adapting to change to actively getting out there and driving it. So let's end with the one question that truly matters. The question isn't whether AI will transform your industry, it's whether your workforce will be ready to lead that transformation. By building a truly AI-capable team, you're not just preparing for the future, you're giving your people the tools to go out and build it.